able to write to C drive. Are we good now? I think I'm a little bit too loud. Agreed, Eric Krebs. YouTube is indeed stupid.
They can hear you.
I don't know. Somebody heard me say YouTube is stupid.
All right. Ready to roll?
I think we're already rolling. I have no idea because my phone's back there. We are recording though, so...
And we are live! Greetings to our loyal WFYL listeners around the world. Welcome live stream. And the right to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike G. With me here is Russ the producer for a very special edition. And you're listening to Mike G in the morning with The Law Matters. And don't forget you can listen to our program every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So let's be heard. You know, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that you can participate in the free and open exchange of thoughts and ideas throughout the entire week by visiting MikeGinTheMorning.com. Russ, I know you're not sleeping. I can see you right here. What is it called?
MikeGinTheMorning.com. We already have CB with us.
MikeGinTheMorning.com. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber, tell your Uncle Jerry, tell anybody who listens, including these hundreds and hundreds of people here at the Lehigh Valley Tea Party event, to check out MikeGinTheMorning.com. And with that, you know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. We are at a very special event this evening. We are in the Lehigh Valley. Maybe instead of your Philadelphia live stream, we should rename it to your Lehigh Valley live stream. What do you think, Russ?
I'm not coming here every week if
You're
that's
not
what
coming
you're
here.
trying to do.
Why not? It took Russ forever to set up. He had to bring everything in a cooler, set everything up by hand. We appreciate you doing that, Russ.
Hey, you know what? Last time I brought a duffel bag and that hurt my back, so I was smart this time. A cooler's only a cooler if it's cooling stuff, right?
That's right. Otherwise, it's just a container of some kind, right?
Yeah, it's just a plastic bin.
You did fool some people over, though. You've got some of these patriots here at the Lehigh Valley Tea Party walking around. Somebody saw this cooler, opened up the top, and was very, very disappointed to find a bunch of wires, weren't they?
Yeah, they told me that beer belongs in a cooler.
A little bit of a party foul, Russ, as far as I'm concerned. Well, we've got an event that's going on here this evening. Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano. He's a veteran, retired colonel of the United States Army, and he's been leading the charge with auditing the vote here in Pennsylvania. He's out of Franklin County. He's going to be the special guest speaker this evening with the Lehigh Valley Tea Party. I will be joining as the second speaker this evening to tell these patriots here in the Lehigh Valley, the hundreds and the hundreds, about how to assert your rights in the aftermath of a critical incident. You know, I had a lady approach me before we got on the program. She said, "I heard that you're the gun lawyer." I said, "Yes, that's correct." So she said, "I got a question I got to ask you." We're about to go on the air here, but she said, "I got to ask you a question very quickly." I said, "Go ahead." Couldn't turn her down. She was sweet. And she said, "I hear that if I'm in my own home and some vicious, vile animal of a human being breaks in and I have to use deadly force to protect myself, that I may need a lawyer. Is that correct?" And I said, "That is correct." And that's absolutely what we're going to discuss this evening, why it is so important to assert your rights in the aftermath. A lot of our listeners understand how important the Second Amendment is, and they understand how it's important to protect that Second Amendment, and they want to exercise their Second Amendment rights. But they're a little shy when it comes to exercising the rest of your rights. The Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, maybe not so much the First Amendment. We don't have too many shy audience members, except those who don't show up on the program and are given the Mustard Award. You don't want to get the Mustard Award. I see a lot of familiar faces here at this event, a lot of folks who have been out to U.S. Law Shield seminars, who have checked us out and learned a lot about gun law. Some of them have even been to our on-trial event where we put out a mock trial, so it's good to see people coming on back. Now, Senator Mastriano has been in the news as of late. We had been getting the word out there very carefully and surgically, Russ, because we didn't want to get kicked off of YouTube again about auditthevotepa.com. We were telling people how important it is. We didn't want to get yanked off of YouTube and banished by the social media gods. The overlords, so to speak, the tech overlords always giving us a hard time. So we had to be very careful and selective with the way we promoted auditthevotepa.com, even though it's just people looking for answers, nothing more. And it is important to ensure the integrity of our elections. I think everybody can agree with that, regardless of the position you take. So take that, tech overlords, kick me off for this one. But Senator Doug Mastriano has been leading the charge, and it was in the news earlier this week that ultimately he hopes to issue election subpoenas within 2 weeks. You can check out an article on PennLive.com talking about this, and he was on a couple of news outlets talking about this. And what he's been working on is in the York, Tioga, and Philadelphia counties. And ultimately, what they're going to be looking for are the hard copy ballots, taking a look at those, examining those. And he mentioned how in Pennsylvania, there's a requirement that copies of these hard copy ballots be kept. And so they'll be able to examine those and anything associated with them. They're going to be trying to get hold of the equipment that was used, the routers, and this will be part of the subpoena. Now, this is not the end of the line. I'm sure there's going to be one heck of a legal battle ahead of him, but it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say about this evening at this speech. It is getting pretty loud over here, isn't it, Russ?
Yeah, in fact, I turned down my mic so that it would stop picking it, because I think
Your
my
mic?
mic.
It wasn't you talking. This is a bunch of people coming on here.
My mic is picking up extra people.
Very, very, very popular event. And if you look at the Lehigh Valley Tea Party flyer promoting this evening's event, this is specifically about the forensic investigation of the 3 counties. So those of you who are unfamiliar, they are an organization, and they meet in the Lehigh Valley, and they talk about all kinds of issues. I'm looking across the room right now, and they've got all of these committees that are involved with the Lehigh Valley Tea Party. They've got Medical Freedom Committee, they got the First Amendment Committee, they've got one about individual rights, they've got one to support the troops. There are a lot of excellent causes going on in there. They've got a Second Amendment Committee, which is obviously very important, so they're involved, they're down with the cause. And it looks like they've got, Russ, what's that last one over on the right? Can you read what that last committee seems to say?
Cakes and cannoli.
The Cakes and Cannoli Committee. How do I get involved with that one, Russ? And I think that's the committee that everybody wants to be the head of. I want to know who started the Cakes and Cannoli Committee at the Lehigh Valley Tea Party. But you can check out their website at lvtp.org. That's Lima, Victor, Tango, Papa.org to check out their upcoming events, see what they've been up to, the things that they bring. They've got a lot of guest speakers that come on in and tell people about what's going on in different areas of freedom, just freedom-loving patriots over here. And they are absolutely pouring in. You know, Russ, I would think that an event this time of year would be a little more sparse. I wouldn't think that they'd be packing out the house the way they are this evening. You got people who are going away on vacation and things of that nature. Not really a big time for these types of events, but it seems that we've got a lot of people interested in their freedoms coming on out tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Growing up in Pennsylvania, were you ever a part of any political organizations like this when you were growing up? Did any of these sort of things interest you? Because obviously you've got a career in conservative talk radio. This is what you do for a living. And was that interest sparked at any time when you were growing up, during your youth? Were you a part of any organizations?
No.
No!
No. So I think you overestimate how old I actually am. I got this job when I was like, I don't know, 18 or 19. And so this is kind of the only gig that I've been a part of for the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, but
7, 8, 9 years.
But
I don't know how
also,
long it's been.
obviously, you're very good at what you do, and
Yes.
you're very interested in what you do. This is something that you truly believe in. It's not like, okay, well, these guys are hiring, so I'm going to go collect a paycheck. It's not like working at any old store or anything like that, where you don't really care about what they're selling over in Walmart. This is something that you actually believe in, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't have stuck around for this long.
What I'm saying is, I've seen the bumper stickers on your automobile, Russ, and they seem to reflect the WFYL Freedom Station values, don't they?
Yes. Anybody who is against freedom can go fly a kite.
Go fly a kite. We could say that on the air.
If they have the freedom to fly a kite, that is, you know.
Well, I heard that de Blasio over in New York City is forbidding everyone from flying kites. He says that it spreads COVID. I'm kidding! Don't take me down for medical misinformation. I am clearly joking that type of measure would be in place. Although you never know, there are lots of different measures being put in place. Did you see that in New York City, de Blasio came on out and they're imposing all sorts of additional measures regarding COVID? For example, one thing that they're doing is they're requiring people show proof of vaccination before attending certain events, whether it's a movie theater or stadiums, things of that nature. Have you heard this?
Yeah, and if I was to go there, I would make sure to get vaccinated in my middle finger so I could show them proof. I'll get two. I'll get one in each finger. You know, the two vaccine thing. I'll make sure that it's in the middle finger so I can, you know.
I'm not sure that's the kind of proof they were looking for, Russ.
Well, then I don't know. They can go fly a kite.
They can also go
They
fly
can eat
a
a
kite
bowl
if
of
it's allowed,
mustard.
if they even have the freedom to fly a kite. in
Yeah,
New
if
York
they
City
have the
anymore.
freedom.
I don't know if you've got the room to fly a kite in New York City. I'll tell you what, growing over there, flying kites was.
Well, there's plenty of hot air and wind coming from all the
Yeah,
politicians.
it's that is true. That is true. But there are also a lot of buildings. And
Yeah?
It's extremely crowded.
Do it from the roof.
Extremely crowded in New York, Russ.
Do it from the roof. Make sure you run and don't watch where you're going.
Oh yeah. How about you? Where you grew up in Pennsylvania, was flying kites a hobby of yours?
No.
No. No flying kites of any kind. You just like to tell other people to go fly kites.
Yeah, I'm saying it as a euphemism on the air so that we don't get in trouble.
Okay, that works too. We can continue on with that.
I figured I figured it was pretty obvious, but I'll spell it out for you.
For those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. Now, I will tell you this. Because we're doing this on location at this particular event, we are somewhat restricted when it comes to how much time we will have to continue on. So I think it's pretty clear that we will not have enough material from this live stream to air tomorrow morning on the Freedom Station over the airwaves. So what we've decided to do, I made mention of this in previous weeks, that we've been blessed enough to be thrown into the 12 to 3 slot occasionally on weekdays, right before Ben Shapiro. So we've been doing our best to come up with 3 hours worth of content so that can fill that slot whenever it's necessary. Obviously, our show, Mike G in the Morning, is specific to Friday mornings, but our live streams on occasion are much longer than 1 hour, so we figured why not go 3? We've done the job. We've gotten the job done over the last couple of weeks. We want to continue to do so. So aside from this live stream, we will be also going live on Saturday afternoon. Tentatively, it is at 2 p.m. 2 p.m., so make sure you check out our social media. You can get all of our pages through MikeGinthemorning.com. And we'll be live streaming with very special guest Cash Beecham. He was on the program a couple of months ago. He's a former professional baseball player, professional baseball coach, and been actively involved in professional baseball his entire adult life. He's got a lot to say about what's been going on lately. And the word on the street is there's an organization he worked for who mandated that people either get the vaccination or wear a mask whenever they're on the premises. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this because it includes when you're outside on the baseball field. You have to wear the mask while you're on the baseball field or show proof of vaccination. And there's no regard to whether somebody's had the virus already or anything like that, whether or not you have any natural immunity.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, nor am I the son of a doctor. And of course, if I was the son of a doctor, never mind.
Didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, did you, Russ?
No. But, I would assert that common sense, of my opinion, says that you must have the virus in some capacity to spread it.
Well,
Just like giving out money.
You're
you have to
asking-
have money to give out money,
You're
right?
asking questions. Now, what we can say for a fact,
Questions aren't allowed.
there are Major League Baseball teams who everybody's been vaccinated, supposedly.
Yeah.
And they've still had breakthrough infections, right? People who have been testing
The
positive
vaccine
for
is
COVID.
safe and effective.
Well,
I swear.
We don't want to say. It kicked off. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Were we just talking about a segment on Sky News last week? We were.
I don't
It
know.
was when Biden was talking about the man on the moon or something.
Yeah.
You remember?
Oh yeah, that was a Sky News piece.
I wonder if anybody else had the opportunity to come up with any of those Biden autocorrect sort of things. I know somebody posted something on the bottom of one of our YouTube videos. We'll have to pull that out on Saturday and read that on the air.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty good. It is getting extremely crowded in here. And it's
Yeah.
good to see that you've got so many people coming on out and who are interested in freedom. It's not just a Second Amendment event either. There's a lot of different
Yeah.
sorts of.
I mean, we got a full house here.
We definitely got a full house. There are lots and lots of people. We invite them to join the Mike G in the Morning family. Hopefully they'll be becoming listeners and loyal listeners. We thank all of our loyal listeners who are participating right now. I see a couple of comments from Eric Krebs. Shout out to Eric Krebs. Give him a hey now, Russ.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now, Eric Krebs.
You ask me to speak every time I turn down my mic. Stop it.
Hey now. You know, it's the First Amendment Action Committee is being formed. We need people to give it life. Our goal is to show the value of the First Amendment and the Constitution wherever good Americans gather. Gun shows, fairs, and schools, to name a few. Sign up at the Lehigh Valley Commentator table and take action to protect our rights. And this is from Charles Knight, who is a Tea Partier. Shout out to Charles Knight for bringing this on over. It is important. Oh, the irony, Russ, I guarantee. Could you imagine if we're on here talking about the First Amendment, this First Amendment committee, and this thing gets yanked off of YouTube? What do you think?
I think that would make the perfect news story, to be perfectly
Is
honest.
that a definite possibility, though? We got to be very careful with
I
what
don't
we
know.
say.
I don't know. Is a
but-
pig's butt pork?
Well, think about the two things that we've discussed so far, right? I talked about Doug Mastriano, Audit the Vote PA,
Yeah.
and an investigation. Now, we did not break the rules. Is that fair? We did not break the rules. Do you
Well,
think
they
we can
could
safely
they
say
could be
that?
investigating anything.
Yeah, well, what could they possibly be investigating?
I don't know, but anybody can name their website anything. You got MikeGinthemorning.com. Is this the morning? No.
Maybe they're investigating motor fraud or voter fraud. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
They're investigating soda fraud.
Voter fraud.
Voter fraud. So that'll be good to keep an eye on that. But that is certainly something that has gotten us in trouble before. We've had 2 videos taken down where we did nothing but say, supposedly you're not allowed to even use the words election fraud. Those got
Well,
taken down.
so I think, and I believe the term for this is called the Streisand effect. And basically, if YouTube takes somebody down, somebody with a big following, and with like well-known for discussion of things that YouTube and the left don't like, I think that just gives them their that gives the banned party their advertising for, hey, we were silenced by big tech,
Right.
or something along that line.
We have only had a stronger and stronger following since this took place. Now,
Yeah.
it did make our lives miserable, right? I wonder if we can get one of these, because we're not on filter today, so I can kind of show everybody what I'm talking about. We have these postcards. Can you
Yeah.
see that, Russ?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got these postcards that we've handed out for the last few months for people to get involved with the program and check out our program. And right where that, and you open up your camera function and you point it at that code, it will take you directly to our Rumble playlist. Now, what you don't know is that this is a sticker over another code, because the previous code was going directly to the YouTube self-updating playlist. So all of our previous episodes on YouTube. That has since been yanked. So
Well-
we no longer can use that.
Okay, that's it. That's not exactly what's going on. So basically, when YouTube decided to take a couple of our shows off of the platform and give us strikes, I had two choices as the, I guess media manager at this point. I had two choices. We could either keep posting and get another strike, and then YouTube wipes out our channel, or I could move everything to Rumble at my own, convenience and not deal with YouTube anymore at all.
So
And
didn't even want to take a chance. Essentially.
exactly. So we weren't yanked from YouTube. We decided to move based on the decisions that were available to us at the time.
Well, you don't want to be in a position where you're yanked and then you've got no alternative, obviously.
Right.
So basically what happened was, we've got a video of this. Somebody's got footage of this somewhere. We really should put it out there. But because this QR code was going to our old playlist that was essentially taken off. I know Russ is technically not taken off, but it doesn't go anywhere anymore.
Well, it goes to an empty playlist. It's functionally not existent.
It won't help people. If people want to listen to the Mike G in the Morning program, they can't scan that old QR code and get there. Now, they can visit MikeGinthemorning.com, as is listed on the postcard. But that old QR code wouldn't do the trick, so we had to get new QR codes made up on stickers and place them over these thousands and thousands of postcards. So, Philly Chris and I had a postcard party where we sat there and put the stickers so watching and following along, which was a lot of fun. Love spending time with our loyal listeners. For those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. Now, Russ, do we have anybody who has commented a question? I see your comments blowing up over there. I cannot see those because of our current setup.
Well, this is thrown together on my laptop.
Okay,
obviously.
is anybody making a play for the Mustard Award? I hear we may get Mike G in the Morning mustard bottles in the near future.
What is it?
Mike G in the Morning mustard bottles. Bottles of mustard.
Oh man, that would be great. You know what? I'm gonna push for if we do merch, we gotta have a plush, a mustard plush.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Like how they got like the hot dogs and the and like other condiments and stuff as plushes. We need mustard.
Like the things that you would have won at the carnival the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like this event is gonna get started here. So
we're gonna get yanked for music because YouTube is fascistic.
What we will do is we'll sign off. We want everybody to make sure that you show up on Saturday. You join us for our live stream, our interview with Cash Beecham. I can tell you the last time we had him on the program, he hadn't had this type of spat that went on. So there was nothing really to report other than a straight interview. And we got contacted from all kinds of baseball people. Former World Series MVP actually contacted us and said it was the best interview he ever heard, which I was obviously flattered. Cash was flattered. We're going to have him back on the program on Saturday. So make sure you come and check us out on Saturday during our live stream. We love you all. That's all the time we've got for today. We miss you, Ellie. Daddy loves you.